There are stories that move us, stories that remind us of the power of resilience, belief, and the human spirit. But few stories capture all of these better than that of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a man who went from having just $7 in his pocket to becoming one of the most recognizable and highest paid entertainers in the world. Born on May 2nd, 1972 in Hayward, California, Dwayne Douglas Johnson was destined to face challenges from the very beginning. His father, Rocky Johnson, was a professional wrestler, and his mother, Adamavaya, came from a legendary wrestling family. But even with wrestling in his blood, Dwayne's early life was far from easy. His family often moved from place to place, and financial instability was a constant companion. There were times when eviction notices were pinned to their doors, and the young boy had to learn early what it meant to struggle. Growing up in Hawaii, Dwayne faced the tough realities of life at a young age. He was surrounded by poverty, and by the time he was a teenager, he found himself drifting toward the wrong crowd. At 14, he was arrested multiple times for fighting, theft, and check fraud. Life seemed to be heading down a dark road, but even then, something inside him refused to give up. Deep down, Dwayne knew he was meant for something greater. His turning point came when he discovered his passion for sports, specifically football. The discipline, teamwork, and structure gave him purpose. In high school, Dwayne began to channel his anger and frustration into the gym and the field. His dedication soon paid off when he earned a full scholarship to the University of Miami, one of the most prestigious college football programs in the United States. For the first time in his life, things seemed to be falling into place. At Miami, Dwayne was surrounded by some of the best athletes in the country. He worked hard, trained harder, and dreamed of playing in the NFL. But fate had other plans. After several injuries and being replaced by future NFL star Warren Sapp, Dwayne's dream of professional football slowly faded away. In 1995, he graduated with a degree in criminology and physiology, but his heart was shattered. He wasn't drafted by the NFL, and his football career came to an abrupt end. Still unwilling to give up, Dwayne signed with a Canadian football team, the Calgary Stampeders, hoping it would be his way back into the spotlight. But just 2 months later, he was cut from the team. No job, no plan, no future in sight. When he returned home to his parents, he had only $7 in his wallet. It was rock bottom. He often recalls sitting in his small apartment, staring at that crumpled $7 bill, feeling lost, humiliated, and unsure of what to do next. But it was in that very moment, in that pit of despair, that Dwayne Johnson made a promise to himself. He decided that he would never be broke again. He would outwork everyone. He would turn pain into power. With nothing left to lose, Dwayne followed in his father's footsteps and decided to try professional wrestling. His father was initially against it, not wanting his son to go through the same struggles he had faced. But Dwayne's determination couldn't be stopped. He began training intensely, pushing his body and mind beyond their limits. Soon after, he got his first big opportunity in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, now known as WWE. In 1996, Dwayne Johnson debuted under the name Rocky Maivia, a tribute to both his father and grandfather. But things didn't go as planned. Fans hated the character. They booed him, chanted "Die, Rocky, die," and rejected him completely. For many people, that kind of public failure would be the end. But not for Dwayne. Instead of quitting, he used that failure as fuel. He reinvented himself, creating a bold, charismatic, and confident persona, The Rock. With his signature eyebrow raise, electrifying catchphrases, and unmatched energy, The Rock quickly became a fan favorite. His confidence was magnetic, and his authenticity shone through every time he stepped into the ring. Within a few years, The Rock became one of the biggest superstars in WWE history, winning multiple championships and captivating millions of fans around the world. But Dwayne Johnson wasn't satisfied. He wanted to grow, to push beyond wrestling, and to challenge himself in new ways. So in the early 2000s, he made one of the riskiest moves of his life. He decided to leave professional wrestling and try his luck in Hollywood. Many doubted him. Critics labeled him just another athlete trying to act. But Dwayne was ready to prove them wrong. His first major movie role came in The Mummy Returns in 2001, followed by The Scorpion King. While his acting career started modestly, His natural charisma and work ethic quickly made him stand out. He took every role seriously, no matter how small, and kept improving with each performance. From action movies like Fast and Furious and Jumanji to family-friendly films and comedies, Dwayne proved he could do it all. Behind the scenes, he worked harder than anyone else. His famous 4 a.m. workouts, strict diet, and relentless discipline became legendary. He often said, "Success isn't about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success." Greatness will come. Dwayne's transition from wrestling to acting wasn't just a career move. It was a transformation of identity. He became a symbol of perseverance, of never giving up, and of believing in yourself even when no one else does. As his movie career soared, Dwayne expanded into business, fitness, and philanthropy. He founded his own production company, $7 Productions, a tribute to the $7 he once had when he hit rock bottom. The company went on to produce blockbuster films, motivational content, and inspiring projects that reached millions worldwide. Today, Dwayne Johnson stands as one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, with a net worth in the hundreds of millions. But what truly sets him apart isn't his wealth or fame, it's his humility. Despite his success, he never forgot his roots. He often speaks about gratitude, discipline, and the power of staying grounded. He gives back to communities, supports underprivileged kids, and inspires people through his social media presence. From a struggling young man who couldn't afford rent to a global icon known for his strength, charisma, and heart, Dwayne Johnson's story reminds us that success is not an overnight miracle. It's the result of years of struggle, pain, and determination. He turned rejection into motivation, pain into purpose, and fear into fuel. Every failure became a stepping stone, every setback a setup for a comeback. He once said, "When life puts you in tough situations, don't say, 'Why me?' Just say, 'Try me.'" That mindset, the belief that no obstacle is too big, is what transformed Dwayne Johnson from a man with just $7 in his pocket to one of the most inspiring figures in the world today. His journey teaches us that your circumstances do not define your destiny. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is what you do with what you have. Success is built on discipline, consistency, and the courage to keep moving forward when everything seems to be falling apart. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember Dwayne Johnson's story. Remember the man who had nothing but a dream and through sheer willpower and determination became a legend. If he can rise from rock bottom, so can you. Because sometimes the biggest successes come from the deepest struggles, and every rock has to be formed under pressure before it becomes unbreakable.